Gidon.
Gidon, because you don't put in the EO because you know as an American I'll mess it up. Is
Yes.
that right? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I want you to know that we've been able to interview a lot of people in Israel with various walks, and you're a little intimidating to me, and I'll tell you why. I'm a techno dork. You know what that means?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so like we have a mic here, I don't even know how to turn it on. That's how bad I am. And where you guys, meanwhile, have changed the world.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you got involved with SanDisk. How did?
A few months ago, they came to our management and they asked to extend their R&D group. So they asked for talented engineers, and that's how we built this team.
Yes.
And
now, were they dedicated for one particular type of technology they wanted, or was it for a broad perspective?
They are all software engineers, which working on quality assurance and software development.
Yeah.
And we are spread inside. We are spread in few groups inside SanDisk.
Okay. Okay.
So some of the team will work for one group and some for other, and we get the tasks from them, and we are on a daily communication with them.
Now SanDisk is out of where? Where's their headquarters?
Headquarter in America.
Okay.
US.
Okay.
And they are American company.
So I have to assume that there's a couple engineers in America, maybe a few, but they didn't go there. They came here. Why is that?
Because it's the challenge to get more and more talented people. It's the challenge of all high-tech companies is to just look for talented people. That's why people are going all over the world.
Yes.
And in our case of Galil Software, it's here in the Galilee in Israel, mostly Arabs population. They are Israeli Arabs. All of them are qualified from Israeli universities. And they prefer to live here near their families and not to go to the high-tech centers in Israel, which are mostly in the center of the country.
So they're from here, they just don't want to leave?
They don't want to leave. It's just, as you can see around here, it's very nice. So Galil Software goal is to bring the high-tech to here and make a useful use of these engineers.
So it was flash technology that you were utilizing, or is that basically what you created?
We work on the software that tests the products, SanDisk products.
Okay.
And we are part of SanDisk R&D groups.
Okay.
We do whatever they do or whatever they give us.
So was there something specific in the R&D they needed that they felt this group was more qualified for, or more specialist at? Any particular
knowledge? No, just good software engineers.
But I'm just wondering why it wouldn't be more cost effective for them to stay in the States. It feels like there must be something significant about this company.
Well, they already have centers here in Israel. Three centers in Israel, SanDisk.
So you're downplaying. I'm trying to make you guys geniuses, and you're like, oh, they just had centers there. They could have gone anywhere.
I wouldn't like to tell a story which is it's not true.
Yeah.
We are talented engineers.
Yes. But Israel in general seems to be quite a robust intellectual group of people that you seem to have kind of cornered the market on that way of seeing of technology and engineering. Yes,
that's true. There is a book, High Tech Nation, which Startup Nation, that talks about Israel and the amount of startups on high tech that we have in Israel. That's true.
Yes.
We found out that the Arab population was left out of these high tech group, and Galil is doing this thing that it brings the high tech here to the Galilee area,
and it seems like you enjoy or appreciate those who are great at what they do. You don't care their heritage. That has nothing to do with it. You're just using people for their skills, and that's how they're judged.
Completely. We have here a mix of people that it is. It makes me joy because you communicate with people on a human level, and there are Arabs, Muslims, and Arabs, Christians. We have here Druze. We have here Jewish people. We have here people from Russia, Jewish people from Russia. We have here even from Caucasian, Cherkessim, which is a very small community in Israel. Everything.
But were you sort of seeking that diversity, or you just happen to have people that fit what you needed that came from all the different places?
The latter option. We just do not bias because of some people, origin or source. We just accept everybody and judge them on their professional skills and of interpersonal skills, which is very important.
But earlier you said that you felt that some Arabs were left out of the technology.
It was fact.
Why would that happen?
Because maybe culture gap, or they are.
So they weren't going to engineering school, or you feel like it wasn't a pursuit they had?
At the beginning, they would not go to school. Today, they go to school. I think in percentage that, like all other Israelis, even more.
But you helped create a market. They saw, wait, why don't we go into this field? They maybe didn't have that opportunity, or even saw that as what it could provide for them, and suddenly you made that available.
I think Galil was vice versa. It was. They are engineers.
Oh.
They have some gap to go and get interview or get jobs in Israeli companies, and say it's a great resources. Let's do it. Since then, I can tell you that you can find a lot of Arabs engineers all over the place.
Yes.
They get the confidence.
Well, I think, obviously, Israel, it has the tensions. We're not getting political here, but I find it interesting that out there, it's easy to choose sides, or it's easy to be in fighting or whatever. But when it comes to practical matters like working, jobs, suddenly that goes out the window. And people just get along because they realize we're all trying to accomplish the same thing. So you're kind of doing a political statement that, look, we can do this.
We can do this. It was like that before, not on high tech, not in the high tech field, but it was like that before. People here, I live here in the north area for many years, and I visit Arab people's houses. They visit me. It's very natural. It's more natural than you would think.
Yes.
People eat at the same restaurant. You go to the hospital, and Arab doctor will treat you. There is no gaps. There's nothing. There's no barriers.
Well, the more that we interview people and explore this difficulty, we meet like this, like you, or we just were at the hospital where it's the same mixture of people and so on. It seems like it's usually the small percentage of leadership that creates more of the conflict than the people, and they just want to be left alone to live their lives.
That's true. If you base things on people, on the daily life, you would see that it is easier to get along. And I have to tell, all these people are Israelis. They are Israeli citizens.
Yes.
Okay, it's not the Palestinian Authority. They are Israelis. They have the same rights that I have.
Yes.
Everything. So even Arabic is official language in Israel, by the way.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes, it's official language in Israel.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it is official by law.
one of the things also that I was curious about is because when you created the technology or came in with the R&D and accomplished what they were looking for, and obviously in flying colors because they continue to give you more and more missions, I wonder if this can also be something that can be shown to the world, in that one of the things we've noticed coming out of this BDS movement and so forth, and my thinking was, and I'd like to ask you because you're in this industry, if they stopped sending research and development funding in Israel, thinking, we'll stop them, they're bad people, whatever, they're going to be hurting themselves, because your technology is helping the world. It's not just this little country. So can you talk to what type of Israeli technology is now taking the world over? Yeah, I mean
everywhere you can find.
Everybody has something at stake if your technology was lost.
What we do here for SanDisk, so you can find the flash memory all over the world. Intel centers here in Israel are developing and the most advanced chips that Intel is using, that you use it on every computer, and
so ironically,
and so on and so on.
Yeah, I mean, and some of these groups, some of these European nations that seem to have more of that leaning toward the BDS, ironically, the emails they're sending to each other about Israel, they couldn't have even used their own technology because you sent it to them. So they're missing the bigger picture, I think.
They are totally missing the bigger picture. I don't think they come from love. If you come from love, then you behave completely different. And another thing, have some sense of humor. They don't have.
Yeah.
You know what I say? When I know that we get along, everybody here naturally, when you can make laugh on the same jokes.
Yes.
And the end of the day, people are people. There are young couples here, which they have the same things with small children at home, which they have to run home to take care of them, and they are busy with the same problems that everybody in the world are busy, and there is no difference between people.
Well, it's wonderful to walk in and see in practical terms people getting along, people helping the world, healing people, giving them technology that everybody needs. So thank you for persevering and going forth and creating things that, because like I said, I don't even know how to turn this off. I'm going to need to ask you.
Thank you
so much. Now, you had talked to me earlier about a different company you had worked with, but you've said something compelled you ultimately to come here, but it was different than just another job opportunity. Can you speak of that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm 17 years experienced in VP R&D for many different Israeli startups and medium companies. And after 17 years in technology, I decided to move to Galil. I'm traveling at least twice to 3 times a week to Nazareth from Tel Aviv, which is a 1 hour drive to work. And not just 10 minutes from home in Tel Aviv, like my last company, because Galil brings something really, really different. It brings together two very compelling issues to me. It is a great technology company. I think it's the leading or the best software technology provider in Israel. We work for only for the best high-tech company in Israel. We don't do medium stuff or low-level stuff. Just the best technology. And this is together with what you have already seen in this company. Using the new or the upcoming talent of Israel. Israel had the Russian immigration 20 years ago, where lots of talented engineers came from Russia. This gave an amazing rise to the Israeli high-tech. We couldn't do without them. And today we are in the same point as we've been like 25 years ago, where the Israeli high-tech must have new blood, new talent, new creative people, and the financial lacune or the financial gap is that we don't use the Arab talent enough in Israel. And Galil is fulfilling this gap with an amazing success. We work from Nazareth, from our Tel Aviv, and hopefully in a year for our American customers. We work together. We work together with the Arab talents who get his Bachelor of Science from it might be the Technion, Jerusalem, University of Haifa, Ord Brauda, all the different universities. We bring in amazing talent. We work in the Galil, in Nazareth. We bring a lot of financial advantages to Nazareth and to Yafia, where we are sitting right now. And I think from my 17 years of experience in managing big development and big technology organization, working together, the diversity which which you still don't often see in Israel, working like together Jews and Arab, Muslims and Christians and Druze, all the stuff, create a very creative development team. And I think that actually all our customers appreciate this ability and our ability to move forward faster with this kind of team that still the people are still not available to the companies in the center. So working in the Galil, creating more jobs, more technological high-end jobs, from my side, like being a technology guy and a patriot, someone that thinks that that's the future of my country. Working in Galil is just great, and I think that many people in Galil feel the same way.
Well, I think one of the things you said earlier before we got interviewed that I thought was interesting is that your company seems to have a philosophy that the diversity of the people you bring is not simply because you're trying to be fair or nice or what. It's because you believe, and R&D essentially is you're nerds, but you're creative nerds. So you're very cool nerds. You're the guys you're the Steve Jobs. You're the guys that change the world. But you said something that was interesting to me. You know, you enjoy and appreciate and long for the different ethnicities, because you find that there's a more robust richness that comes because people are going to have a different way of seeing things from their history, and it broadens everybody's perspective. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I think that most recent researches all over the world shows that diversity is a tool is a major tool for creativity, and we bring the talent in not because they are, as you said, not because they are different or different ethnicities.
Or you're trying to reach a quota.
They are just good, and our location is a diverse one.
Yes.
We have everybody lives here: Jews, Arabs, Muslims, Christians.
Yes.
And the fact that when you work together, you bring different backgrounds, helps a lot to make you not stay on a very single road, not thinking about new stuff. This is, in a way, this is emphasize something that is deep down the Israeli startup momentum of thinking outside of the box, pushing hierarchy. Thinking beyond. When you bring people that are different, they think differently. They do the same technology, but they think differently.
Yes.
And this is great. There's a lot of ideas coming up when you work in such teams.
I think that, interestingly enough, too, is that because Israel, small country, obviously small population, there is obviously issues with wars and conflicts and so forth, that it seems to me part of the bloodline of Israel is that they didn't have as many options, so they had to learn to make do with what they had, and it forced you to always think in a more creative way because you just didn't have all the resources. So we're going to have to find a new way to be who we are and find your own, and it's been amazing because you're now becoming one of the top destinations for R&D research, and even though this is a business and it's wonderful that we can talk about the great success you've had and the great diversity, and sometimes getting political, who wants to do that? But it's kind of impossible almost to speak about Israel and not have some political elements because it's so volatile. Yeah. So a couple of things I want to ask. One, you did mention, and I kind of got it from some of your Arabic employees, they would say, there wasn't opportunities in this field for them. Now, what I'm curious is, so are they saying that they got the degrees but no one would hire them? Or are they saying we really didn't have anywhere to take it and you guys filled that space and basically changed their lives because you brought them to an opportunity that they wouldn't have had you not been here? I mean, which way is it?
Yeah, it's actually both.
Okay.
I think that Galil mission, or Galil vision, sees the involvement of Arab engineers with high tech as a crucial part of Israel. It's not we are not doing it for Arabs.
Yes.
Not for Christians or for Muslims. We are doing it for ourselves.
For your country.
For our country as Israel.
Yes.
That's the most important. Nobody. I don't do any favor to anyone. I think that 5, 6, 7 years ago there was a huge problem with Israel, with Jews, people hiring Arab engineers in Israeli Jewish company. This is changing.
Is that because they just weren't used to it, or they didn't think they would mix well?
Yeah, they getting used to it. They understand that there is a huge talent in the Arab population. They understand they're all financial organization. It's not like nobody is contributing or donating anything. That I understand that they need the people. Just a quick example, in the Technion, one of the best computer science institute in the world, I think that it is among the 21st. Today, like 10 years ago, about 2% of the BSc students were Arabs. Today is 25%. So this is amazing. There isn't a CEO of a high-tech company in Israel that does not appreciate the Technion as a great institute to hire engineers from. He knows that 1/4 of the students are Arabs. He knows that he must hire them because they are good. They get into the Technion, they get a BSc from Technion. He knows that he should hire them, and I think that for many of our engineers, Galil is a very good starting point to build their career. Many of them are leaving after a few years, goes to other companies, then come back as team leaders, group leaders. Some of them not as much as we want for the future. Start their own companies with the experience they got in Galil. But it's a very vital workplace. And actually, this is a personal note. It is a great from the environment. The personal environment here is amazing. Yeah. It's a very, very nice and warm place to work in. And I think that many of the employees appreciated it. I appreciate it.
Yes. Well, and I'll tell you one of the things I appreciate about what you're saying is that, you were pretty open about saying, a few years ago, maybe they weren't always being fair, so to speak, about how they perceived it. And you're admitting that. You're not pretending that Israel's perfect or that Jewish people have never had their own prejudices. You're just saying, but we're trying to grow, evolve, change. We're doing like all human beings and all cultures. You do it a step at a time. And
I think I think that this is it's not a political thing, but I think that to being to care about the place you're living in is to change it for the better, not just defend it
Right.
as the great
Right.
place ever. So
Well, and not talk about it, but actually you're practically doing it. That's that's the difference.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And not just me. I think that all Galil management is
Yeah.
here to bring on the future. This is exactly what we're
Well, and especially because when we've talked to some people who are in sort of in the conflict mode of how they see Israel, depending on which side they're in, yeah, you'll hear that. Well, I don't have opportunities, so that angers me, and I'm going to take it. And what you're saying is, we're going to do something about that.
Yeah.
Not only are we going to do that from a humane point of view, but frankly, the Arabs are helping us. We're admitting that everybody needs everybody in this country, and that's beautiful.
This is a mutual effort. It's not nobody is here to help.
Nobody's getting charity.
Not helping Arabs,
Yeah,
not charity. They are just good, and I think that all Galil developers know that if they weren't good, they weren't here.
Yeah.
So we are working with the best talent, and our customers wouldn't work with us.
Yes.
Like SanDisk wouldn't come to Galil if they think that we are.
What do you think it is that they even initially thought of using you? Was there some of the product you had created that they were interested in? They say, hey, maybe they. How do they even know to even pursue you as somebody to consider?
Yeah, we met them a couple of times in the past, and they see the list of satisfied customers. They know many of the executive in this company. They can hear from them like face to face the level of.
But it was your accomplishments that they could see and go, who are these guys? We got to go check them out. Look what they've done. And you probably were not that well known. But your success spoke for itself.
Yes, it spoke to itself, and the word of mouth is increasingly. It gets bigger and bigger all the time. I think that as the VP sales, most customers that I meet today know something about Galil, know the name, know the brand, know about a big and high quality company in Nazareth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and again, not trying to make you a political expert, but I did want to bring up, because it's something that we think is important for people to understand, and it's the BDS movement. I'm sure you're familiar with what that is and so forth. And the thing that that I think I saw in some of your interviews and so forth, for whatever reason, if there are countries or peoples that have decided they don't like Israel, if that's their position, and they exist, they would think, well, then we'll boycott them and somehow we'll cripple them because we don't like them because they're mean people, whatever they're thinking. Well, it appears that what you've created and what you're showing is the world's going to be hurt, because what you're giving, if they stop buying your goods or sending money in for research and development and helping products come out, yeah, it would hurt Israel, but it's going to hurt everybody, because the people that are typing the emails to say, let's not work with them, probably are using your technology. Am I right? I mean, don't you think that there's so much more at stake than some, than the one, side that they've taken?
That's very hard for me to acknowledge or to deny that. What I know for sure, that we are creating the way Israel should look in the future, in the near future. We already do it.
But what I'm saying is, but you're benefiting a lot more than Israel. You're benefiting companies and countries and technology around the world that wouldn't be here if you guys weren't here. I mean, I just feel like it's very short-sighted sometimes for people to not understand just how significant and just exactly what Israel is bringing to the table here that is one of a kind.
Yeah, this is definitely amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, well, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate the jobs you've provided, and that you guys are living in a company that not only is assisting the world with your wonderful ideas, but you're living a real life where real people get to work together and show that peace is possible and getting along is possible, and everybody is equally good at something if they're given a chance.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excellent.
For SanDisk, I'm almost half a year.
Okay.
For Galil, it's almost 4 years.
Okay. Now, where did you study?
Studied in Netanya Academic College.
Okay, and where's
First
that?
degree of computer sciences.
Oh, okay.
It's in
And-
Netanya. It's
Okay.
near Tel Aviv.
Oh, great. And did you have a particular part of technology you were interested in? Was there something specific you wanted to hope, just computers or anything? What was it?
Yes, I liked computers, and in high school, I liked the
Yes.
programming class. So I decided to take to study computer sciences.
Okay. And you said your name is Muhammad, so shall I assume you're Muslim?
Muslim.
Okay.
Yes.
But there's all these different types of people working together, getting along fine. So what is it about this company that allows people just to live their lives and work together in harmony?
I think that this company, Galil Software, is giving the opportunity to the new students that have finished their first degree to start working in the high-tech company.
So are you saying that sometimes you'll come here and also are learning as well? It's almost like you're being mentored along, or do you just come in ready to hit the ground running?
No, it's first of all to study, to learn this job, how to work with it, how to work in big companies. And as I said, this company is letting the students that had finished their studying to start working in here and to gain experience in this field.
Yes, and
Then you can go to another companies, another bigger companies,
Yes.
without working through outsourcing companies like Gali.
right. And so was it exciting that you were able to help SanDisk create a very important product that now is being used worldwide? Did you feel some accomplishment in being part of that?
Yes, it's always exciting to work for a company that you before you see their products in your home.
Yes,
and you
and now
start to
you're
work
and now
in-
you're part
yeah,
of it. Yes.
You're part of it, and it's exciting to learn new materials and new things.
So you know secret things about what makes it work that none of us know, because you know
what
the secret workings of the
secret
technology.
of what?
Of the technology. You know, it's just secret to you. Because I got $10. I was hoping you'd show me something. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm glad that you're working. I'm glad that you're successful and that something was provided for you. Are you from here originally?
From where?
Born in?
From
Yes.
yes, from
Okay.
Israel.
So before this company was here, would there not have been an opportunity for you to get a job in this field?
Look, I finished my first degree in 2004. It took me 6 years to start working in this field.
Now, is
I
that
just
because
sent,
this wasn't here, or you just?
I don't know what's the reason, but that's what happened.
Okay.
My first job was in outsourcing company, not Galil,
Yes.
but it was here in Nazareth.
And if you were to say one word about what you love about working here, what would you say? Or you can use 2
Feeling-
words if that helps.
It's the field that I'm working with a family.
Ah.
I feel belongs
That's
to here.
good.
Yeah.
And they make you feel that way.
Yes.
Yes.
I think because the most of the employees here are Arabs, and you feel like a family.
Yes. And yet, oftentimes in the news where I'm from, all they show is conflict, and yet you're showing that that's not always the case.
no
That there's
conflict.
many places in Israel where people of all different ethnicities can work together.
Yeah.
So that's-
When I'm working with them, I don't think about religion,
Yeah.
Even age. I'm working with Gideon. I feel him like he was in my age.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
I don't feel any difference.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time. See how easy? Oh, you're different. The other girl did disappear. All right, so thank you so much because we wanted to speak to your other friend, but she disappeared. Now, was that part of Galil technology that allowed her to vanish?
Allowed her to vanish?
Yes. Was it Galil technology? Is she invisible? Is that what it is? using your technology? I'm joking with you.
Okay.
Okay. So you are an engineer.
Yes.
Tell me about your background, your ethnicity. We're just showing that there's such a diversity here.
Okay, I am living in Nazareth. I am married, have 3 children.
Good for you.
Originally, I am from Haifa.
Oh,
I finished learning before more than 10 years. I'm working in Galil. It's close to my home. It's very easy to meet because I have children.
okay. And you're Arabic?
I am Arabic,
Okay,
Christian Arabic.
Okay.
What
Now,
else?
well, did you ever feel as a woman in this type of field that maybe there would be less opportunities for you, or have you always felt equal as everyone else?
I didn't feel there is less opportunity.
You
for
did?
me. I didn't.
Okay,
feel.
good.
I didn't feel.
And is there, what would you say is about what makes this company so special? If you were to tell others,
Okay.
what would you say about it?
First of all, this company in Galil, in Nazareth. Not first, maybe there's a little companies, but it's a big company, big high-tech company in Galil, that lots of Arabic engineers work here. It's very special because the Arabic have less opportunity.
Now, why is that?
Why is that?
Yes. I mean, why don't they have the same type of opportunities in the areas like, I don't know. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I just don't know what makes this area different than perhaps.
Most of the Arabic living in Galil, in north. And most of the high tech, it's in Tel Aviv.
Okay, so it's just
so
demographics. It just doesn't.
Democrat, yes. Also, maybe they prefer Jewish. Sometimes you can see in the fields that the very good Arabic working, having work, and the less they more difficult to find work in this field.
So, to be Israeli and to be working together with every group of people, the same people that the news shows that you're always fighting and you hate each other, it's clearly not the case here. Why do you think that's the picture that's painted overseas about Israel? I mean, what do you guys think about that, since this is your country? Do you have any ideas why people don't come and see what really is happening in a positive way?
Because of the media. The media put what they want to all the.
But what would
people
be
to
their agenda to do that? I mean, what would you think?
We are working in Galil, in small company, in Harmony, but in Israel there is a really conflict. It's not a joke.
Right, right.
Yes. So the communication, every problem they come and
Maybe highlight that
yes,
and
highlight
not show the other
to
thing.
all the world.
Yeah.
But there is also good things
Yes.
in Israel.
Yeah. Do you feel that the technology here is unique, that maybe isn't found? Because why are people coming here? Why did SanDisk choose you? They could have been probably chosen American engineers. Obviously, there's there, or they could have gone to Europe or whatever. They chose here. What is happening in Israel that people don't understand that is really taking the technical world by storm? What is unique about it?
What is unique? Israel is very good in high tech, in technology, and lots of engineers, lots of good university. We have a Technion.
Now, do you think it's because they've emphasized that, or is there something about the DNA of the people that they love creativity? Why do you think you've been able in a small country like this to have so many companies want to work with you? I'm just giving you a chance to brag about your own country. Do you think there's something here that we don't see because the media wants to create a different picture? What is it about here, Israel, that nobody really knows? What's the real truth?
That in the battle, there's people, smart people. They want to live, making lots of important technology.
And how long have you been here?
In SanDisk 1 month, but in Galil 4 years.
Okay. And is there any reason you'd ever want to leave?
Galil?
Mm.
For now, no.
No, for now, no, unless
For
you have
now.
another baby.
Yeah.
Then you'll be too tired.
Welcome.
Yeah, okay. What was your name?
Giselle.
Giselle, I'm Brad. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you
Me
for
too.
speaking to me. You haven't graduated to your own computer. You have to use, yes, you're not good. Yeah, you'll break it. They're afraid you'll break your own computer. No. Do you speak English?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't want you to be going, what's he saying? Okay. What's your name?
My name is Bilal.
Bilal?
Yeah.
Brad. Pleasure to meet you, Bilal. And you are?
Ghannam. Ghannam.
I can't say that.
Ghannam.
I can't still say it because I'm American. We can't speak as well as you.
It's a
yes.
bit difficult. I agree.
How long have you been working in this?
About,
Apparently, I got to say SanDisk or Galil. How long have you been working with SanDisk?
1 month and half.
About 1 month and a half.
I know when I'm. See, you guys do work together. He answers your questions for you. That's wonderful. It makes it easier. You don't have to think half the time. And then how long for SanDisk? I mean Galil.
What?
You said
Same thing. The same
Yeah.
thing.
so, but I thought.
Together.
Oh, at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, because some of them were with Galil first, and then I guess they transitioned into SanDisk. But you guys,
No, we started,
Started.
at the same time.
okay,
Together.
okay, all right. Oh, now did you study in the same place?
No, no.
No.
No, I studied at Haifa,
Okay.
Technion.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I think
In Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
That's academic college.
Yes.
Jerusalem,
Okay. Now, what is your heritage?
heritage,
Yeah. Do you know? What I mean, like Arabic.
Arabic. Yeah.
Okay. And you Arabic.
Yeah.
Okay. Muslim.
Yeah, Muslims.
Muslim.
Yeah.
Okay. What don't you have in common? Because I was trying to show how you guys work together, even though you have differences, but you're the same. So it doesn't make quite the same impact. Tell me about the opportunities that have come here. See, I hear a lot of people talking about more and more Arabs are seeing this as a great way to make a living, that they're good at it, but there didn't seem to be those opportunities a few years back. Did you notice that yourself, or have you seen why there's been such a wonderful opportunity and transition to encouraging you to go in this field? What do you think? Does any of that make sense at all, what I just said?
I think it makes sense.
Because I don't understand what I just said. So I'm going to ask, but you're an R&D guy. You can figure it out.
I don't have a lot to say.
Okay.
Let's see that in the Arabic society,
Yes.
we don't, how to say that, how to phrase that. We are a minority.
Minority, yes.
Yeah, in this country. So we don't have a lot of options and a lot of work opportunities. So
Okay.
we have to
So you're saying maybe some jobs that are already taken, there's not as many available,
yeah.
but now you're finding a more complex job
Yes,
that not everybody can do because you got to
Yes.
be really smart, right?
Yeah.
And you're equally smart. Are you smarter than him?
Yeah.
Of course, he definitely is. He agrees over here, and he's in his own cubicle. How did you get your own cubicle? That's what I want to know. And so, what has been the most exciting project you've worked on so far?
That's called the thermal validation.
I can talk about my final project in the graduation.
You can talk about it? Okay, because I thought it was secretive and they were going to have to ship you away if you gave away the information. But tell me about your project.
Okay. It's about building a system that help autistic people
Oh,
that can't understand what the non
can't read maybe properly?
the non speaking in
yes,
communication.
Yes.
So
So is it something to do with their neurosenses that you're?
the system are displaying some text in the screen computer that tells them what the other man feeling,
Oh,
or something like that. Yeah.
how did you figure that out?
We worked too hard.
Yes,
About in 1 year.
that's
This project for 1
amazing.
year. Yeah.
Did you have to research or interview autistic people, try to understand where they were making this?
We must go to research in the net most
Yes.
rather than talk to
Oh, okay,
autistic
okay.
because we don't have
Now, who thought of the idea of having this system for autistic people? Whose thought of was it to make that project?
Uh,
Do you know?
I discussed that with my teacher, so we tried together to find.
So this was your idea,
part of it.
and then you could bring that to your boss and say, "Hey, how about if we do this?" He goes, "Do it."
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if we found out a year later that he never wanted you to do that. Yeah, he said, "No, start over. We never wanted."
Yeah.
But I'm amazed because that's a technology that will help people around the world.
Yes.
Okay, so when you've heard of, you live here, you probably have a whole different perspective of Israel, obviously, than the way it's portrayed around the world. But one of the things that we were discussing was the BDS movement, if you're familiar with that, where they wanted to boycott Israel, some people did, or divest or sanction them. And my thinking was, if they're thinking that they're somehow hurting Israel. But I'm saying, well, wait a minute. If you don't want to help develop the research and development in Israel, the world will suffer, because there won't be this autistic programming, which is going to go to every tongue, every spell. So I think they're short-sighted. What do you think has allowed Israel to be so successful with such a small company at these very unique, groundbreaking technologies? What is it about you guys, must be something in here, that allows you to have major companies in the United States, instead of using their own people, come here? What do you think has allowed that to take place? And you only have 3 seconds to answer. No, you can. Do you think it's part of your culture? Do you think it's part of... You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, but see, you're an R&D. You're
difficult
supposed to
to
know
answer this
everything.
question, I don't
Okay, but you should be proud of that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
guess so.
because you're representing Israel to the world and showing them that you have wonderful, positive things to contribute, and people should appreciate that, and hopefully continue to bring technology here so you can have more work and figure out more things to do, even if the boss didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely
pleasure
right.
to meet you.
Nice to meet
Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right, and listen, stay off his computer.
Yeah.
Get your own.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
What's your name?
Khalid.
Harid. Okay, that's a good name. My name is Brad. How long have you been working for SanDisk Galil?
It's my second month now.
Oh, really? So are you the newest guy here?
Probably, yeah.
So
Yeah.
so they play a lot of jokes on you since you're the new guy?
No, not really.
No jokes?
No jokes, no. They're really nice.
How is that?
They're really nice people.
Well, they're just fooling you. Pretty soon they're going to play a joke on you.
Yeah, perhaps.
What is your specific? What has been your mission right now, or assignment, as far as what you've been working on that's interesting?
Okay, so I just started working, so I don't really have
Oh.
missions. Where
Okay.
It's part of a learning curve, and
Oh, okay.
so it takes.
So they give you
yeah.
time
Yes,
to
yeah.
grow into the bit. Now, what is your heritage, by the way? Are you Arabic?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm Arabic.
Muslim?
Muslim family. I'm not really religious myself,
Okay,
but
okay.
Muslim family. Yeah.
I'm just trying to find that we have different types of people working.
Yeah,
in this.
yeah.
Okay, and so you are being able to be given, not only did you take your studies here and they hired you,
Yes.
but they also take time to help you learn and grow on the job so that you're
Exactly,
more
yes.
proficient. So do you think all companies would do that?
I would hope so. It's,
Yeah.
it's really a better method of, I think, of working
Yes,
to give you time, and this. I hope other companies do it as well.
yes,
It's been really nice to be working here, to
Yes.
give it the time to understand.
yeah,
It's my first job in high tech,
ah,
but really have a lot of experience.
yes.
I
But
got
you
my
don't feel
brothers.
intimidated, or they're not putting pressure on you, they're
No.
giving you a chance on your own speed?
Yeah, that's the thing exactly. They're
Yeah.
giving the time. There's always someone to ask, so you understand better what I'm supposed to do.
Yes. Now, you said you weren't that religious,
Yeah.
but you're probably aware of some of the ways that people in the press show Israel. And one of the things we wanted to explore was, I don't think that they're being fair sometimes to how they show what Israel is, because obviously they're doing wonderful things for people of different ethnicities that they think or act as though always fight. But that's
Yeah.
not true. So what have they discovered here that isn't happening in other areas? How do you think they've been able to blend people?
Well, if you give people opportunity, the odds are they're not gonna fight that much. That's the thing. They see
I
that
see.
in this company. They said, okay, we see that out of the toxicity outside, but that's not necessarily the case everywhere.
Yes.
We should give people a chance to
Yes.
work together, and they tried it. And
So they're giving
It
you the
worked fine.
dignity of,
Yes.
of opportunity.
yes,
Yes.
without prejudice, without
Yes.
stereotyping me, just getting me a job because
So why do you
corporates-
think the press, and I'm just, you wouldn't maybe know this because I'm from the United States, but it seems the press oftentimes tries to demonize Israel like they are always being apartheid, or they're being bigoted towards perhaps even you because you're Arabic, but yet you're saying that's not the case. So are you familiar with the BDS movement? Have you heard of that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say that some countries in Europe boycotted SanDisk
yes.
because oh, it's Israeli, we don't want to have anything to do with that. Wouldn't that affect you personally, as in your
Yes.
opportunities for your family?
Yeah, sure. It would affect everybody working in here, this
Yes.
company. Yes, exactly. Maybe it's because when things are going fine, when things are companies like Galil Software, for example, or SanDisk don't exactly make news.
Yes.
There's nothing really newsworthy about
Yes.
people working just fine. When someone kills someone, that's
Yes. Well, it's more visual, but
more visual,
but I think,
yeah.
and of course that's always a tragedy.
Yes.
But equally so, they
Yes.
don't talk about people like you who have been given a great opportunity, and yet you could suffer from a misperception
Yes.
that Israel is not being good to people and so forth. So I was just thought it was important that there are people like you who say this is not the Israel I live in.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think is the biggest misperception of Israel to the West?
I maybe it's that they think a lot of people think it's only one side. It's or it's heaven or it's hell. It's not exactly that. There are cases of maybe case of racism. There are there are cases of coexistence.
Yes.
It's like everywhere else. So they should just take time to understand that the full picture instead
Yes.
of just jumping at the first conclusion they arrive to.
Well, and I think also it appears that sometimes when they think of a boycott, for example, that they're picturing in their minds, maybe Jewish people would suffer because and yet
Yeah.
what you're saying is no, there's many
no,
different people from different backgrounds that would have the same problems.
Of
Yes.
course, everybody living here, everybody of political spectrum, or everybody different races are gonna suffer equally
Yeah.
because of this. Of course.
So finally, you're given
Exactly.
an opportunity, and
Yes.
then maybe another country tries to take that opportunity away. So again,
Yeah.
it just shows how politics can actually destroy good things taking place. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, thank you so much, and I
Thank
hope you keep catching up so that eventually they'll give you something to do.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.